Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Filler number 25. I'm Ticketmaster, joined by
RPG Maniac 05
and Gamer 12.
So yeah, this week, what you've been playing, and we'll continue our discussion about new IPs. And this will complete the trilogy where it's like, what are our favorite new IPs from the last console generation that totally died off and never came back, or the new IPs from this gen that haven't got a sequel or a new entry in the franchise or whatever that we'd like to see maybe in the next gen. So yeah, and that'll be that. And maybe some news. Who wants to go first on what you've been playing?
You do.
Okay, fine, I'll go first.
I know. So I said you do.
So I finally finished Dragon Quest VI, and the final boss in that game, I know one of the last two in 4 or 5, it had a multi-form final boss, but this one also had a multi-form final boss where it had the 3 forms. But since I've been leveling up so much,
JRPG. It's kind of how that works.
Well, not every JRPG is like that.
Name one that isn't.
Grandia 2.
Actually, you're wrong.
Actually, wait, I'm wrong. Well, wait, no, because you have like the whole.
Nope, they all have
you fight
multi-forms.
the bosses before the final boss.
Wrong.
Suikoden 1 doesn't.
Are you sure?
Ha!
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
How sure are you?
100% sure. Because you go to fight the thingy, and then it's there, and then you kill it, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm. Dude.
Also, oh wait, no, that's not true for that one.
I was kidding though. It's not that serious.
Okay. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, Dragon Quest VI. So I'm taking a break from that series since 6 totally just killed me, and just
you should never play them again.
So much grinding, or not grinding, but just getting stuck. It wasn't the grinding that killed me, it was the getting stuck, because I kept getting stuck, and I was just like, oh, stuck here, what'd I do? Oh, I'm not stuck anymore, oh, I'm stuck, and then just, yeah. I'm taking a break from that series until I care about it, or I want to play it, so it'll be a while. I have 8, and, well, I don't have 9 and 10, but I have 8, so I could go and play that one. Everybody's like, oh, it's really good, so it's probably just as good as the other ones, because they're all the same.
They're all the same game.
That's what I'm expecting to happen when I play that, is to like be completely let down and be like, so I guess everybody that played this one that was really awesome, but we probably never played one.
It's long.
Yeah.
So
I heard that too. It was long, so. Besides that, I played some Rainbow Six, but I got stuck on, I don't know what mission it is. It's the one where you have to like go into the, there's like an amusement park and some people have been kidnapped, and like the hostages for some reason are not, I don't know if they're not all triggering or they're not all spawning, but for some reason one of the white dots on the map is not, there's not a person there, there's just nothing, so I don't know what's up with that, so I'm going to try to uninstall it and then reinstall it and then see what happens. But I was enjoying it, it was fun to go back.
There's a button there or something.
Shut up.
Or a door.
There's no doors.
Give me your
history. There are doors, but it's easy to open them in this game. You just hold the spacebar or the action button. And then, from that, when I got stuck, I started playing Rainbow Six 3, and I actually noticed that there's an observer mode, which you just basically play until the game puts the squad that you're commanding in like position to do whatever their next action is, and you just push the button to be like, Alpha, go, Bravo, go, or whatever the go code is, so that's pretty cool. Let's see, besides that, whatever. Okay, so yeah. So basically, May 4th is like, May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day, or whatever. So like, I was doing a bunch of videos for YouTube that I haven't uploaded yet, because I'm going to put up a bunch of like Star Wars games. Well, not a bunch, but like, I was going to put up a bunch, but I was like, okay, that'd be like way too much work, so I'm going to just focus it to like one series or something. So I decided to do the Rogue Squadron series. And the first Rogue Squadron, I really used to like that game, but going back and playing it, it's good, but there are some very aggravating like levels and sections of that game, and it's just like, just makes you want to hurt something. And then the second one's pretty good. It can get a bit frustrating towards the end, but still fun. And then I just started Rogue Squadron 3, but I got to like the second level, so it's still fun. But yeah, wish it was another flying action fun game, but that'll be a while, so. Besides that, I only dabbled in some Batman and stuff, but that's pretty much all I've been playing.
That's it?
Yep.
Doesn't sound very exciting at all. I'm actually kind of disappointed.
No, if you think about it, because like I went from like not playing anything, and I completely played through like 2/3 of a trilogy. So yeah.
Indeed.
And I finally finished Dragon Quest, so I can go to some other handheld game now.
Or you can play the last story, because, you know, that's a game, and you haven't beaten it. Play it!
Well, there's plenty of time now since we're in the dead zone. Well, I guess we're not,
for you, maybe. I mean, I just got like 4 games in the past 2 weeks, so...
But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Somebody else can say what they've been playing.
Okay.
Gamer RPG, which one are you?
Let Gamer go.
Yes. I've been playing... Well, I totally finished... they finally released the last episode of The Tyranny of King Washington.
Wait, it was episodic?
Yeah. Episode 1, 2, and 3.
I did not know that.
And it completely sucks. Like, totally worthless piece of DLC. It's like, I have no idea why would you want to play it.
Maybe that's why they announced Assassin's Creed 4 so early, is because like the DLC was terrible. But they're like, how can we salvage this? Let's announce our next game before it.
It's even like crazy because every DLC content for that series has been total garbage. So I don't know what I expected this to alleviate itself to a higher stratosphere, but it's still garbage. It's like it's nonsense. It doesn't really fit into the story. It's like it's supposedly it's when something occurs in the main game, and this is like a side story of what happens in between that conversation. So it's like totally useless.
I thought it was like a alternate history thing.
Nope. It's alternate history because
it didn't happen.
That's a big spoiler. But it's because of something happens. Like, oh, this might happen if this happened. You know, like that. Those type of stories. Like, so in the end, it doesn't really happen. So yeah, useless. Like the only fun part was the ship battle. There was episode 3 has a kick-ass ship battle. And oh man,
I told you, it's the only good thing about 3.
The naval battles system they made is so good. Like using the chains.
Yeah, you can look forward to the 4th game because that's all there is.
Yeah, well,
it better be. Yeah.
They should have thought about that before they made the 3rd one suck. So it's like, not gonna buy the 4th one now.
Well, hopefully it's like the same team because I've been hearing that they've been putting different teams on different games. Mm-hmm. So it could be a different team working on the naval stuff, so I hope not.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
I know, it was like, oh, you had a great thing going on in 3, then like, oh, it feels like total shit now. But yeah, it's totally useless. I don't know why I spent, was it $30, $20 on the season pass?
Oh my.
Yeah, that was a waste of money. Then I beat Mass Effect on PS3. Man, I spent 30 hours on my first playthrough.
Did you do all the side quests?
I did every side quest, yes.
Oh yeah, that's the way it's meant to be.
And it was crazy because like the ally trophy achievements, whatever, they popped up really early in that playthrough. On 360, it took freaking forever. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's weird because like I know on 360 it's like one is halfway through or something, and the other one's at the end. They're not at the same time, so that's weird.
You mean the one where it's like have that person in your squad for like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, it popped up like way before, because like you reach a point where you have to go to Vermeer. So I did all the side quests before Vermeer, and so those popped up right away. Like I had Tally and Rex, and they popped up both of them at the same time. Rex and then Tally. So that's cool. So oh well, much easier on this version. So maybe it was a bug that they fixed. So that's cool. But man, I kind of cried after I beat it because I have to beat it like 4 more times to get platinum. And I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Because like, you can't unlock hardcore without beating the game on veteran. So I beat the game on veteran. You have to beat it on hardcore, and you have to beat it on insanity.
Yeah, it takes a while to unlock insanity, which is annoying.
Not to mention the weapon kills you have to get, and some characters can't use certain weapons, so you have to like switch up classes. So on those, probably put it on easy or something. And then you still
play the Ultra Gamer.
and then you still that's gonna be one of my playthroughs, but it has to be like a renegade playthrough because I have to get that trophy too. It's like, oh my
I forgot about
God,
that.
you goddamn kidding me! Like I have to do it like so many times because I have to do even the biotic.
Well, gamer, you don't have to since you've already done this.
I have to because it's a platinum. It's like it's a very easy platinum to get.
See, now you're making me feel like I have to get this before you. So it's like, great, now the Galandis are down, and I have to show up Gamer because I can't let him get that
God
before me.
Damn it.
Because
You gotta make this into a competition now.
well, Gamer, it's like if it was any other game, I'd let that fly. But when you're like, oh well, I'm just trying to get the platinum. That was
God
good. So.
damn it! I think I'm gonna play Mass Effect. I'm gonna take up that because I had nothing to do. Like I was like thinking, oh, I'm gonna just play with some multiplayer on these games I've been neglecting. But I think nope. I'm gonna try to beat you, but you have all the time in the world, though. I have only a couple hours per day to do it.
I don't have all the time in the world. I have like 2 free days.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have free days.
I don't either.
Oh,
No one
well,
does.
go me.
Do you want a cookie for that?
Yay, for efficiency.
Well, did you beat it yet?
No.
I haven't even finished my first playthrough.
Okay, so I have a leg up. Okay.
But Gamer, I'm very,
He's prone to
acquainted.
marathons and
I know.
These
so
the game that you're talking about.
He's gonna do like 3 playthroughs and like
basically.
24 hours. Because like, once you basically get the what do you call that? There's a one that's like it's time intensive. Oh, once you get the ally achievements, it's all downhill from there. Plus, man, that game. Once you learn the intricacies of like all the things, like it's so easy. Sure, you get killed like sometimes, like out of the blue, like you just get jacked. But because the AI, still, man, so stupid. They just like don't the point him to go in one direction. Both parties like, oh wow, which is weird because it was fixed in the PC version, but here they still kept the 360 stupidity and. It's irritating.
I'm sorry.
But yeah. And like what I said last time, like it'll be interesting to play as a female shepherd. It really didn't deviate that much after like the first hour or two. After that, it just became standard dialogue to Shepard. They didn't really acknowledge her gender, so it was kind of weird. But yeah, game is still good. And that is pretty much it. I played some Soul Soccer for RPG. That was fun. One match.
I didn't even know it was him, though.
It's really a bitch to get into a game. Like a friend sends you an invite. You click on the invite. It has to load the game. Then I have to load into the multiplayer version of the game. And it has to load. Oh my, terrible. But yeah, game is okay. I would have picked it up, but. The magic usage part, like early on, probably once you get past like certain levels or something, it's not a non-issue. But like early on, it's like you run out of spells to cast. You have to run around the stage to get those like there's just like these areas where you could charge up your health or recharge your magic uses.
The offerings.
Offerings, yes. But it's like it's hard to like figure out where is the offering. Is it?
All you have to do is use your mind's eye thing, and it's always and it shows up as like a white thing on the map.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah, that's the whole.
I did not know that. The game never taught me that. It's
yes,
weird.
It did. It tells you like in the tutorial.
It just says activate mind's eye.
Yeah.
When you activate it, you get a 10% like 10 XP bonus or something in the match.
It tells you that using it lets you. I mean, you can't use your magic, but you can see like hot spots on the map. But like that includes where you can recharge your offerings, create or use or draw spells from the environment, and all kinds of other stuff. And that's another thing too. So you don't have to worry about wasting your spells too. You can draw some spells from the map. So there's that.
And Matt, it's one of those games where it's really dependent on animation, where you're trying to charge your attack, like to like the second level or whatever, but then the thing is coming right at you. Like, oh my god, I have to unleash it, and like, man, crazy.
It's early. Just
Yeah.
all fully
I
charged.
like how you could charge it while you're running. That's like a Dragon Ball Z style, like.
Oh yeah. It's funny because I actually like yell out the command thing like when I used it the first time because I was like,
Yeah, it really looks like it, yeah.
yeah.
And I like the whole when you use a red red magic, it kills your health a little bit because it does more damage. That's cool. I like that.
Well, that's only because you're talking about like the blood magic one.
Blood magic, yeah. That is so awesome. Like, it's a cool risk reward thing. It's like, I'm sacrificing a bit of my health to do more damage on this boss.
Or you could not do that and use your magic instead of using your blood to attack things.
Last resort. But it's one of those games. It's another one of those games where you have to choose your equipment carefully. Because if you don't have the right equipment, sometimes when you're going against a boss, it is like detrimental. Like, you have the right stuff. Like, there's no armor, is there, in the game?
I mean, there's spells that function as armor, and you can like other
like the stone block thing I have. Yeah.
Like, because there's there's actual armors and shields too. So I mean,
is that
like you mean like equipable stuff? There isn't, but
yeah.
like the spells, there are like the shields and the armor.
Yeah, the spells will act as your So that's kind of cool, where you have none of that, but you have magic that substitutes inside. Yeah.
Some people, though, it's like, and even like playing multiplayer, like trying to tell some people like certain stuff to use before you go into battle, and they'll be like, okay, and then they'll not change any of their magic. We'll go into the fight, and then of course I'm the only one here who brought anything useful, so now everybody's running around using up all our offering trees and just spamming lightning magic on Cerberus, who, by the way, uses lightning magic, so he's like not gonna get hurt by it. So it's like, okay, guys, we're gonna talk about the stupidity that's going on here, and then they wonder why they get sacrificed when they die. Yeah, that's why. Sure.
I have a question. Like, do you know how to chat? Because in the lobby, there's like an old chat book, and I was like, I have no idea what this does. I'm like trying to how to type because I saw another person when I joined the game. For some reason, I couldn't ready up. There's a button that I kept pressing it, but then the person like chatted my name.
Oh, it's
with a question mark. It's like,
if you press the chat thing where the window comes up with all the preset stuff, if you press the triangle button for free input, you can.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. I couldn't figure it out. That's why. Even while you're in game, like I saw Dagger say, "Oh, try your best against this other person we were playing with." I was like, how do you bring up those prompts? Like,
she was clearly joking though, because you're laughing about
that.
No,
she almost killed, or the other person almost killed the boss. Was it Harpy?
I don't know. Because that was the only one you were with us for, right?
Yeah.
The Harpy one, yeah. So
the other person almost killed the Harpy, but then she got killed. I was like, oh. But how do you bring up those prompts to like egg people on or something?
I think it's like the select button, I want to say. It's either start or select. It's one of the two of them.
Well, I was using voice chat. Were you guys even hearing me?
Oh, I don't know. We were, like I said, we were in ad hoc party when we were playing, so I don't know.
Not like in the game, where can you hear like a voice shouting like, "Oh my God, you sacrificed me"?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh,
I think I would have heard you.
Oh, I guess they disabled voice chat.
I don't think there was voice chat in the demo, at least, if it does exist. So, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's a fun game. It's getting kind of like above average reviews, like not excellent, but still decent enough to.
Okay, gamer, you just said like not excellent, but above average. Wouldn't that be like 4 out of 5 or 8 out of 10?
Well, it depends on.
No, it's like 3 4s. 3 or 4 out of 5s,
like
or 7 or 8.
See, to me, 3 out of 5 is like a good game.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 or 4.
I said above average. I didn't say mediocre.
I know, but it's weird because you would say like the descriptor of the score instead of just say the score.
Well, it depends on the site. Like some sites use the full scale and all that bullshit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you like say the number, like to me that seems like someone can just like take it and like like what it means to them, like that number or that score, instead of like just being like, oh, it's. I guess it's better to like what you said then.
I think overall it's a good game. if you're into that type of game, get it.
Is it just like a action RPG?
It's very similar to like Monster Hunter, and it's like gameplay design with the hunts and everything, but I mean, I guess with the whole magic and everything, it's a bit different and in the dark fantasy setting.
So okay, so it's basically like Monster Hunter meets a fantasy setting.
Kind.
But you're not really hunting. You're just
it's
like you're just trying to kill the thing as much as possible. It doesn't matter. You're not really like tagging it to another area or anything. You just based on you have one arena.
Well, I mean like you're a party that you go in and you like have this objective and you go and do it and then you get like experience or loot. And that's
for the online one anyway. Yeah, because I mean, there's actual narrative for the single player stuff, but you know.
Wait. So is there like crossover between the single and multiplayer?
Just your spells. I mean, they're like kind of separate from from what I know. I mean, I haven't like played a lot of the full game yet because I just got it when I got home from work today. So I don't know.
Okay,
but maybe bye. I don't know. I don't know. So.
I think we lost Gamer.
Again?
Yeah. But he was just talking about Soul Sacrifice, right?
For now, but I don't...
Are you there, Gamer?
Oh, yeah. It's connected.
Was that the last game you were playing?
I was.
I don't think he knows.
I was just playing Mass Effect.
Oh.
And Assassin's Creed 3.
Ew. Sorry.
I know, that's what I said.
It's gonna be my like reflex gag for that game. It's like every time someone says it, it's just like
that's the one. Upload a dog game. It was pretty funny. It's like I went assassinating on the roof and he fell, and there was a cart by on it, and then it went on top of his body, but then he got stuck, and it's like it's warping and all that crap. Like I'll upload it. It's hilarious. Famous, okay.
But so you're done with what you've been playing, Gamer?
Yep.
Okay, RPG, what have you been playing?
I haven't been playing anything. But
so you weren't playing.
But
you have like so many
blatant lies. But I picked up Pandora's Tower, which is Oh
yeah, I was wondering about that.
It's the game is like a cross between like The Legend of Zelda and Shadow of the Colossus, kind of the way it's set up. Because I mean, the objective for the game is to get the 13, to kill the 13 master thingies or whatever, so you can get their meat to feed it to the chick. But yeah, right. But well, it's a pretty creepy cutscene when she's all eating and being all like, meat all up in my mouth. So, yeah. But, say what? I don't know what you're saying. Your mic is being all janky.
Oh, you got disconnected.
Yeah. Fix that. But, to get to each one, you have to like go through their towers, which is like it kind of functions as like one of the elemental dungeons thingy, which is why I said it's like similar to the Legend of Zelda thingy, because each one.
Oh, so like each boss has a dungeon that you have to clear in order to get to them.
Actually, yeah, before you can actually get to them. So you still have to like do work to get to them. So, which is kind of a pain for some of the, because some of the, it seems very unbalanced with the way some of the towers are set up, because like some are pretty easy, like pretty straightforward to get through, like with because I mean you do have your puzzles and everything, but there's some where it's like there was one that was like the metal elemental one is kind of a pain, because it's like you have to navigate the whole tower through like a series of like these little pulleys and all this other crap that's going on, and it's such a pain in the ass because you have to keep finding switches everywhere and turning on everything and unlocking the doors with the stupid gear mechanisms and stuff, and it's like, okay, I don't like you, metal tower guy, so I'm saving the female one for last, because I'm not going through all that trouble again, because seriously. It's a pain in the ass because the hook mechanic is kind of janky for the chain, so I don't know. But I mean, for the most part, game's kind of fun. It's kind of just your normal action adventure title with the swords and the stuff and killing things. You know.
That was the funniest thing. You're just like, yeah, it's your basic action adventure title with your swords and stuff, and you're killing things. Yeah.
Is that not how action adventure titles work?
Depends on the genre, or I mean not the genre, but the setting. Like it might be all cyberpunky, and you have to hack into the thingy to get the stuff, and then do that. Or steampunky, and then you're all like a mechanic that puts the steam in the gears that turn the cranks or something.
But no, it's like a fantasy setting thingy. So there's
or maybe you're like a monk and you have to like use your fists. You're all like stuff like that.
No,
or I mean martial arts. I'm sorry, not your
Just no. No. The game, like it almost seemed like it kind of started like abruptly. Because the way it almost seemed like they kind of rushed through the beginning phases of it. Because it's like they show you like a bunch of brief scenes, and then you're kind of like in the game, kind of searching the towers and stuff, and it's like, what's going on? But I don't know like any of the relationship between the characters or why he even cares enough to like go find meat to feed this chick. But then they start to like explain it like during the thing and how they actually had known each other like 3 years prior to this whole mess and stuff. And I was like, oh, it would have been nice to have known that beforehand, because then I'm like, why am I risking my life to save this chick? I don't even know who she is. So, yeah, that happened. It's okay, though, because I'll explain that now, so I'm okay. But as you go through like each tower, you have like you kind of have to like go back periodically to feed her like smaller bits of the monsters in the tower, because like it kind of like staves off her curse or whatever, and so you can like get to the main boss and get his meat or whatever. So once you bring that one back, then yeah, she's all like giant meat, and then she eats it, and I guess it brings her closer to not being cursed or whatever. But I don't know, some weird stuff going on in that game. She keeps on getting like random flashbacks to something or to some family or something whenever she eats like the master's meat. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening or what's going on, but I don't know. I think I'm like halfway through the game though, because I beat like 5 of the towers, I think. But wait, no, there's 13. So I'm almost halfway through the game, because yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, Pandora's Tower. That's a game. It's still better than Xenoblade, though. The game is terrible. I don't know why people like that game. Seriously. But other than that, I've only been playing. I played I've been playing a lot of the Soul Sacrifice demo before the actual game came out. So just a bunch of that, and then I just picked up the game today. So that was happening. But that's pretty much it. So, yeah.
Okay, so there's like one thing I wanted to ask you, Gamer. Are you gonna use that film chip throughout like the whole trilogy, or just playing the first game?
Just the first game.
Okay.
Why?
I was gonna ask who you're gonna romance.
Well, I already romanced Liara. That was kind of, I don't know. It's weird because like as a female shepherd doesn't really have like a connection. Like it was weird because like Keaton, that was like the only difference in the female shepherd, where he was really like trying to get it on with femme shep. It gets crazy. Like
yeah, that was weird.
There was an option where it's like, Shepard, do you feel the same way? I said, hell no. It's like, I'm sorry, Commander. I thought you're giving me the wrong signals. I was giving you signals? What? No. You are misinterpreting.
I think that's the weird thing about the first game is like if you're like, even if like doesn't matter like what your Shepard is, but like when like Ashley or Kite is just like out of the blue like, so Shepard ... It's like I don't think I ever mentioned this before. Well, I guess maybe you can if you're like talking to them, right? But sometimes it seems like it's just out of the blue. Whereas like Liara, you actually have to like say
Yeah.
specific stuff.
Yeah.
So that was like really weird.
Maybe because haven't they like? It's not like their first time being on missions with you, though, is it?
Not. Wait, you mean Ashley and Kaiden?
Yeah.
Actually, not so much because you only get her after Eden Prime, where like you save her. So
But I mean, they like
stayed her alive.
don't they like know each? But don't they like know him though?
No,
or know Shep? Oh,
Kaiden might. I don't think so though.
Hmm.
'Cause I think like on the Normandy, that's like the first time that they assembled that crew or whatever.
Oh.
Even though some of them had like been on like previous excursions or whatever, like Chakwas, Jenkins, and Kaiden.
Yeah, Jenkins. Sounds like a butler's name. Oh, Jenkins.
Okay, so gamer, so you're saying that you romanced Liara in that playthrough, or you're not going to romance anybody in that playthrough? Oh, you got dropped again. Never mind.
Again. He needs to fix his internet. Seriously.
Or we could just like end it there and have it just be like a one segment thingy, without having to worry about the weekly thingy, unless I don't know you want to do the weekly thingy. Okay, I guess I'll just end the segment here since Gamer's having technical issues, and we may or may not be back after this. Alright, we're back, and we're dumping the topic that we were going to discuss about IPs of the last gen, new IPs of the last gen or new IPs of this gen being brought back in like the next gen that didn't get its fair shake, and instead we're going to discuss
fair shake.
Yes. What did you like me to say, RPG, instead of a fair shake?
Like
a fair chance.
Yeah, that sounds
a fair chance.
Like
okay.
Normal. What the hell are you talking about?
Instead of that,
shake.
We're going to be discussing is the length of time ever too great to bring back a franchise or to have a sequel in a franchise that has been gone for a long time, because there's been recent releases of games that have been in stasis or just like away from the kingdom of gamingdom. It's like, oh, wow, that's actually pretty good, or oh, that was terrible, or oh, look what you did to this precious franchise that everybody loves and you completely ruined it. Thanks, EA. Thanks for what you did to Syndicate.
Ooh.
And thanks, Duke Nukem, for, just coming back and showing us, maybe sometimes you should just cancel the game and not let it linger in development hell for like 15 years. Cause
I think it was actually longer than that.
Oh, however long it was.
Which is even worse when you think about it.
Exactly. But, yeah, the examples we were going to use were, like the two I stated. So you have Syndicate, which was, like, brought back, but as a first-person shooter, whereas before it was, like, a turn-based, like, strategy, well, not turn-based, but, like, real-time, or it was real-time or turn-based, I don't remember, strategy game on, like, the PC back in the day. And then you had, like, Duke Nukem Forever, which was in development forever, and just came out, and wasn't...
Pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended. And wasn't, like, very loved by critics or users. And then we have the flip side of that is you have XCOM, which basically isn't a one-to-one conversion of the game as it was in the past of how it is in the present, but it was taken in its current rebooted form, and it has like the best elements of what made it awesome, and was still able to like keep that and make it awesome. And then Deus Ex was just basically, well, Gamer said it better than me, but he basically said that like you have the gunplay now to where it's not terrible. And it actually feels like a shooter when you play it, but it still has like the awesome RPG mechanics and character building and stuff that makes it feel just like a really good role-playing game. So yeah. And that's our question or the weekly topic that we're about to discuss. Or that's what we're discussing, I'm sorry.
Basically, whether or not games should bother with reboots.
Not necessarily.
Too late, that's what I'm taking it as.
Okay, well, feel free to talk about that, and I'll talk about the other thing.
I'm gonna.
Well, are you going to say anything RPG, or just going to like?
Oh, I
sit there?
thought you were going to start because it was your
Okay.
idea.
Well, I should say, if a game can never have like a sequel, or is the length of time too great? Never. I mean, just look at Mega Man Legends 3. Everybody was so excited for that game.
No comment.
Everybody was pumped to play it, and like Capcom was just like teasing us and teasing us and teasing us with like info and just stuff about the game. I was like, oh, look at the screenshots. So it's like, oh, it's in development. Oh, it's getting made, and just building the hype and building the hype and building the hype. And then they go and cancel it, and you're like, what the S, Capcom? Like, for years and years and years, people had like wanted a new game in this franchise / series, and they were about to get a new one on the Nintendo DS, no less, which is like, I can play it anywhere, even on the toilet. So it's like, oh, that's even more awesome.
I usually do.
And then they go, and they're like, oh, you want this? Oh, let me walk this dude outside real quick. And they shut the door, walk him out to the back, bam, splat, shoot him in the head, and they're dead. And it's like, oh, you just killed the game. Thanks, Capcom. Thanks. It's just...
Didn't that guy, leave the company, though?
Yeah, I think that was... They did that after he left, though, so... But that's the whole weird thing about, like, Japanese... I don't want to get into it, just... like, Kenji Inafune left, and then, like, no more Mega Man games, like, since then. So it's like, ugh. Except for, I think some crappy, like, iPhone game or something, so...
It just wasn't Mega Man Legends 3.
Sigh.
Sigh indeed, because 2 was awesome.
However, in the future, if they ever decide, oh, we're making Mega Man Legends 3 again,
But I'm going to be, like, all bitter and not care about it out of spite now, because it's like, oh, now I'm going to trust you guys to give me the game that I wanted, like, years ago? No, I'm not falling for it this time, Capcom. So, yeah, see, now they lost my trust.
Maybe you are, G, but I'm sure there are plenty in the legions of Mega Man fans.
You would think that,
yeah.
But then I've seen things like Duke Nukem Forever, and I'm like, well... What if it ends up like that?
Well, that's different, though. It's not like it was in development the whole time.
Maybe it was, Tekken.
But
it was.
The thing is, like, you don't know unless they tell you, so...
Yeah.
You can be optimistic like myself, or negative like RPG, and be like, oh, it's gonna be terrible, I hate everything.
No, I'm just saying, I'm being realistic here. Because just because you would be all like, ooh, everything's sugar and rainbows, doesn't mean that there aren't people out there who knows the truth. And it's like, even if they bring it back now... The guy who's in charge isn't even there anymore, which means they're probably just going to make some quick cash grab because it's Capcom, and then it's just going to be like, here's the super ultra version of Mega Man Legends 3, here's the gold version of it, here's the complete version that you should have got in the first place version of Mega Man Legends 3. So no, I don't trust Capcom because their track record pretty much shows that they can't be trusted. So, yeah.
Actually, I just thought of a great example RPG that is like also an example of like what I just brought up about like the whole sequel thing. How like no time is too soon. Like Street Fighter 4, like Street Fighter 3 came out in, like 1999, which was like last decade.
Did it really?
And,
that was a long time.
Yeah, and then like Street Fighter 4 like just came out in like 2000, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, one of those. And people were just like clamoring for it because it hadn't been one in such a long time. And it's like,
but wait, there was like there were like ones in between that.
I'm
though.
just saying,
RPG,
I'm just saying like a like straight up like Street Fighter game.
But it's not
like,
the same though, because it's like
just because it has Marvel vs. Capcom in the name.
Well, no, I mean like
Street Fighter.
It still had like Street Fighter Alpha 3 and all those other ones and stuff, right?
Not
so
the same.
How's it not the
dude.
same?
Like you stick an Alpha in it, it's like it plays differently. That's why.
But it's still Street Fighter. You're saying it is because like there was. Like kind of like how there were no Duke Nukem games in between Forever and whatever the hell came out before that one. It's like that. There were Street Fighter games that came out in between those two titles, so it's not like there wasn't.
Okay,
so
I guess you're right. You're right. Okay, I'm just saying though, like, that's a plausible point you're making. I'm just saying, like, in the series of like Street Fighter games that are not like Street Fighter Alpha or Street Fighter vs. X-Men or Marvel vs. Capcom, or like they have the same gameplay mechanics. It's still
Marvel
not like
Capcom. It's my response to that. Which
anyway,
they did make a number 3 for that one though.
Oh yeah, see, Marvel vs.
been...
Capcom 2 was in like the 90s as well, and then 3 like just a couple years ago. So.
Even though they did end up making like a super gold version of that one too, so
yeah, but that's Capcom. Like that we already talked about Capcom this segment. Let's just like not keep on crapping on them.
Why not? They deserve it. So
I know, but
maybe if they stop.
Just let it
I'm trying to help it die by beating it viciously.
But yeah, I'm on Wikipedia and it says that Street Fighter 3 came out in '97 and Street Fighter 4 was 2008. So that's like over 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no length of time that is too great. Where it's like, oh, you want this game? I mean, look at Final Fantasy 13. That was like how many years after 12?
Well, no,
A
because
lot.
that only came. Well, not. It wasn't as big of a difference as like Street Fighter and 3 and 4 though. I think it was only like because 12 came out in.
I'm just saying, like, even after 13, people were like, we went versus.
Yeah,
so it's like, I think that's the other thing, is like, when a game's announced and it enters, like, the zeitgeist, it just doesn't go away because people are like, oh man, that trailer, or oh man, the screenshots are like, you know about it and, like, you're hyped and you're pumped for it, so it's like, you want to
I mean, my hype has kind of died down for versus since, because it's like, it's been so long at this point, it's kind of just like, okay, I guess it'll be released whenever it gets released, because now so many other things I've been playing since then. I'm like, whatever. It'll just come out whenever. So I don't know. I just not like as excited for it as I was like when it was first announced. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the best game ever. Kingdom Hearts team for the win. But now it's
even that JRPG, Kingdom Hearts. Well, I guess there's in between games, but you know,
yeah, there's
people still want Kingdom Hearts 3.
So it's still something to scratch your Kingdom Hearts itch until the third one comes out. If it does, anyway. But, yeah. It's great.
It's like scratch an itch, man. I'm already scratched out. Like, I'm done with my itches. Like, give me the main course. Like, I already broke the, back scratchers. Like, fuck. Come on. Come on, guys.
They're a little rough on your back scratchers there.
Speaking of back scratchers being broken, is your back scratcher broken for a future possible Shenmue 3 if it ever came out, gamer? Because, I mean, we all know how much you want that.
I think it's because everyone clamors it, that they're not going to release it, so when we shut up about it, they're like...
That's when they're going to... Yeah. It's like, let's bring it back, guys. And then, by then, everybody's like, I guess. But if they do release it, I would hope they would, like... release the previous ones in like some kind of collection or something, because it's been a while and no one has a Dreamcast anymore, so being like might want to toss those on to like a HD collection or something.
And like the graphics discrepancy would have to be major, because if they release one like let's say for PS4 or the Xbox, it has to look so different compared to the originals. Like, it would be crazy. Like, it would have to look all real and shit.
Yeah. See, that's the problem with the next gen stuff, because now I'm, like, expecting these, like, now they have to look.
Like how Shenmue was pioneer, like, how you could investigate every drawer or every place. Like, they have to go, like, balls to the wall, like, everything can be investigated, like, be looked at. I'm sure
the consoles would be able to handle it. It's just more of how long would it take for them to develop something like that for...
See, like, thinking about it like that when you say it, that would be, like, if, like, in my mind, I'm thinking of, like, an Oblivion-style game that's, like, set in, like, contemporary Japan. That would be kind of cool, though.
Oblivion. Well, now they're in Shenmue 2, they went to China, so...
Oh, I mean, China, whatever. But then it'd be cool to, like, see how they adapted the fighting system and all that other stuff, so...
Yeah, I mean, like, so many, like, advancements in that genre, or not genre, but, like, the fighting systems, like, if they make it as good as, like, Sleeping Dogs or something, or adapt, like, the Batman style, while still keeping, like, the Virtua Fighter mechanics, that would be great.
Also, I guess I'd just throw out Half-Life 3, because people never shut up about that one either, so...
You know, man, it's like, I want to see what Valve is going to do after Dota 2. Because, Dota 2 is already out of beta, right? Or is it still is in beta?
I don't know, because I don't care about...
yeah, I see here. I not that I care, it's like, it's not my type of game.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to say. It's
yeah.
not my type. I don't play the MOBAs, so it's like, yeah, whatever.
It's like, what is the other game after that? Because they can't just stay as a company that just... as a storefront. I mean, they have to do something else.
I don't know, gamer. They make a lot of money.
Well, they did recently. They stripped. Because remember, they're going into hardware, but now it doesn't seem like they're going to go into hardware anymore. So they dropped that like nothing. Like, that's not working out. It's like, well, you have to release something in like probably next year or 2 years from now, it's just like, what are you gonna do, Valve? Like as a developer company.
Well, I guess not to get off topic, but that was like kind of like another thing that we brought up was like if you look at there's like a lot of franchises out there that's not like there is a long time between each installment. So if you look at like Bethesda and all their games, or like Blizzard or Bungie, like they have like a long time between installments of their games. So it's like you know the game's coming, but you know that you're going to get it at the end of the day. But then there are situations where it's like StarCraft Ghost, where it's like, oh, it's announced, it's shown, but then like it's canceled / delayed indefinitely. So there are like still instances where like a game is like in your mind, you're like, oh man, I'd like to play StarCraft Ghost, but then you don't really like remember it as fondly. But it's like, oh, I still play it if it came out. So
Yes, I got my golden arm.
It's just like after a while, you just like lower your expectations to a point where it's like you don't care anymore. Like what RPG said, it's like, and, it'll just come out whenever it wants to come out. I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna play the current games. I don't give a shit. Like you lose interest. Like after like Last Guardian, I have no faith that's gonna be a good game. No faith at all. It's like it's forever since they announced it. And like,
okay. But yeah, my answer on the whole is the length of time too great for a sequel is like no, because I can always wait, and will always be like happy and excited when I see like a new entry in a franchise that I'm excited for or I'm a fan of. Like if you told me tomorrow that like I'd have to wait like whoever knows to like, but like BioWare like secretly was working on some sort of like Shepard's Untold Stories to like follow up all the stuff that they did not answer in Mass Effect 3, I'd be like, oh man, day one. So yeah.
You still want Shepard in your Mass Effect?
Gamer, there is like story. It's not about Shepard. It's about Shepard and his crew. So it's like you have that relation to like all their characters. So it's like, I mean, there's one like really annoying thing to me about like the Citadel DLC. It's like it's kind of a cop out, but like in Mass Effect 2, you are somewhat promised. Like with Jacob, he's like, all right, Shepard, if we live, we'll get loud and spill drinks at the Citadel, and like, yeah, you get to like have a party and get drunk and stuff, but it's not like a one-on-one like drinking session with Jacob, which is like, I wanted like that bar scene where like you go to the bar and like you're ordering drinks and like you got with like Ashley in her like dinghy. It's like I wanted that, but with Jacob, it's like I kind of feel like I was kind of cheated of that. It's like, yeah, I still got to like get drunk and stuff, but it wasn't like in my mind what I had imagined. So it's like it's still not good enough. It's like, I mean, it's good enough. But it's like it's a cop out. It's like and then the whole thing with the Arachni, it's like I have to know what happens to the Arachni. It's killing me to know like I saved them and I don't know what happens to them. And it's just that's the other thing. It's like the epilogue is just like to not me like the epilogue of that game is not complete. But I'm just gonna like stop it there because like I could go on and on about that game and just all the stuff that's like not explicitly said at the end of like, oh, what happens to this person or what happens to this person, and it's just so many loose ends not tied up. Just kills me every day. Just why?
I was just like wondering, like, would you want that, or do you want something that's just universe based, where it doesn't really include Shepard's, like, just based in that universe, where it's like, oh, the first Contract War, like that.
Well, to me, it's like either way it would work, because like to me, I'd rather have stuff that is in the universe, but it's like a new experience. It's not like a retread of like stuff that we already know about. Like, I don't really want like First Contact War or the Genophage or the Morning War or like any of the stuff like they've talked about that's so you know about already.
Entirely different.
Like to me, yeah, it's like to me like something really cool would have been like, or I guess they can still do this because like they're still gonna like have like stories in the universe, but like without Shepard is like, well, see, I'm kind of like curious of like what they're gonna do. It's like, is it gonna be like in the same timeline? Because like to me, it'd be cool to be like a Cerberus like Black Ops agent that's like defected and like going against them now, like with the Alliance. That'd be pretty cool. Or like there's like so much stuff you could do just like in that universe that would be like so cool. Because like if you look at like Prey 2, it's like something like that, but you're a character in Mass Effect and you're not Shepard. That worked just the same. Where you're just like some outlaw human dude like in this universe with all these aliens and like all this stuff's going down. It's like, oh man, would you like cross paths with like Liara since she's like the Shadow Broker or all this other stuff? It's like, how would they do that? It's like, that'd be so cool. It's like, but now I have to wait and see because it's like I don't know until they announce it or show it. So it's like, the pain is killing me of what they're gonna do next. So it's like,
I'm sorry.
Would you want let's say a game comes back from an IP that's been like shelved. Would you want it to be the same as it was, or would you want it to be in a different genre? Like, it would be weird if they announce a new Mass Effect and it's like an adventure game, like sort of like Telltale, like just like decision based adventure, you know.
I would prefer if it was in the same genre, but if it's not like a continuation of that story from what it's based on, it doesn't bother me if it's in a new genre. Because if you look at like what like the Halo Wars to like Halo, when it's like, okay, we're gonna try to do this like RTS thing, it's like, to me it's like, it's fine if like a franchise wants to like spin off and like do something completely different and like than what it was doing before. But like I would still, like, at the end of the day, I'd rather have it be what it was when it first started. Like, if you're like gonna tell me like I finally like get a continuation of like the Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1 of like Rams of Bayou, like back in Ivalice and like all of the other stuff, but it's like a turn-based RPG as opposed to like a strategy RPG, I'd be like, but I'd still play it. So I'd prefer if it was like stuck to its roots as opposed to like doing something different, but I'd still play it regardless of whatever it was. So.
Because like that was one of the issues what happened with the first-person shooter XCOM, where they released the footage and like everyone's like saying, "Oh my God, what happened to the turn-based, you know, game we loved? It's now a shooter," and people just like rallied against it. And
didn't the same thing happen with Syndicate?
Yeah, same thing happened because like it's something they love so much is like now entirely different. Whereas like they couldn't accept the fact that it's an entirely different genre. The toy is against whatever they wanted. So I was just wondering what would you want? Is it the same game or entirely different game? But still uses the same like type of concepts, but just in a totally different way.
Yeah, because like even if you look at like the Persona fighting games that they released, those are like really. Well, I haven't played them, but people say they're really good. So it's like you can still take something that's completely different from like what it came from.
But it's not really like a. But that's different though, because it wasn't like a sequel or like like a.
I heard it was canon, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, the story itself is canon, but it's like I meant like in terms of like how the Syndicate or the XCOM games were like the full-fledged like new release for that that franchise or whatever. Like Arena wasn't really like it's just kind of there. Really,
well, but Gamer did say like about like it's like another Mass Effect game came out in that universe, but it was like a different genre, so whatever. It's like the Persona fighting game's like a different genre, and it's not. It's like
because I mean, there's. I don't know. Because I mean, they're still gonna make like more Persona games that are in this series is the same like RPG thing. The fighting is really more just like a spin-off kind of thing. It wasn't like I don't know.
We're like the mega fan of the Shin Megami Tensei, so would you care if they like came out and it's like, oh man, we have the Shin Megami Tensei racing game or this?
I'd probably play it regardless, but like, because I'm actually some of those or I don't think those counts as licensed games, but like
Chocobo Racing, so fun.
Hey. Running around that track is Cactar, being all slow and stuff. I was actually kind of enjoyable. Yeah. I actually had the game. I didn't just play the demo. So.
Actually, I was thinking about this recently because I remember when I used to like say this all the time on the podcast how like every game should have like its own fighting game like Dissidia or whatever. It's like I think like you could also like translate it into a racing game kind of sort of like if you look at Double Dash from like Mario Kart and you just like give every character their own powers and their own card and just have like a bunch of tracks and like the same stages from the universe or whatever, it would work.
Isn't that what happened with Sonic Transformed? Like they put their Sega characters in a kart racer.
I didn't care about that game, so like that's the thing with me is like since I have that like love hate with like Sonic, it's like if it's not in like the like old school style, I kind of just feel like they're just like cashing him and like riding him to the bank on the money train. So it's like it just pains me to look.
It was actually not that bad, so.
Oh, really?
It was like wasn't that the same issue with like Sony, the PlayStation All Stars, where they tried to do that same thing with like they tried to ape Smash Brothers, but their franchises just weren't.
Well, they're strong though. I mean, that was kind of different though. Cause
Yeah, cause that's like where it's like a platform taking its franchises as opposed to like a franchise taking its characters in it.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah, that's true. Has there ever been a series that totally changed genre to genre, like from sequel to sequel? Has there
I don't think
been
so.
any like series?
That'd be weird.
Yeah, I
If,
was about to say.
fantasy.
Like all over the place, because then you're like, what? It's like I don't. Yeah, I don't think anyone would do anything like that without just making like a.
I think I'm gonna have to research that to like see like what franchise has like the most games of different genres, like outside of its core genre.
that has its name attached to it anyway.
Yeah, like the most spin-offs and stuff like that. Like we have a dating sim, we have a garden sim, we have a racing game and a fighting game.
Final Fantasy might be up there somewhere then. Cause,
Hard battle game.
yeah, quite a few of those that you listed there in some way, shape, or form.
I'm trying to think of what the other question was that was not the sequel thingy. Because I said yes to sequels. I mean, I said there was no time limit on those. So, are you both in agreement on the whole? There's no length of time that's too great on sequels.
Yeah.
For me, it is. I just.
Oh, there
I
is?
mean, don't make it too short. Like a yearly thing is
But we're talking about the long
term. Yeah, but I guess if you wait too long, I'll be dead. So.
Well, yes, that is
Don't
true.
wait too long for Shenmue 3.
Come on.
Okay, so RPGs, like you said, you like would get bored of it or whatever, or you'd get.
I mean,
what was it?
I just think I wouldn't care as much.
You wouldn't care.
I mean, eventually, I'm just gonna be like.
So like if they didn't do the whole like, oh, we're announcing this game today, and then like they just kept indefinitely delaying it, and then finally brought it out, as opposed to like 10 years later they finally like brought out a sequel of a game, and you're like, oh man, that's awesome. Like, would you prefer that as opposed to like the whole drip feed
I
of
think
PR?
I would just not
for like
know
2
about
years.
it. Yeah, because it's like
Luigi's Mansion 2.
it's like
That's kind of what happened. It was like out of nowhere, that game.
And I was actually interested in it too, which is weird. Cause I was like, oh, it's funny. But I mean, it's just like.
Actually, Nintendo does kind of do that, because like that is what happened that one year at E3 when they're like, here's a new Punch-Out, here's a new Kirby, here's a new Donkey Kong.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
That is always that's always fun and nice.
Well, Punch-Out we haven't seen until SNES, you know.
So yeah, that just cements my answer there.
Oh wait, do you think so? But this is sort of relation where it's like they brought out A Link to the Past 2. Do you think that's cool?
Oh, I didn't play the first one.
I'm an ex-Zelda fan, so, but I still say that because it does kind of interest me, but I'm not gonna like knock it. So,
but you should knock all over it.
It's weird though, because like to me, it's like in my mind, I'm like, why don't they have a new Ocarina? Because that's my jam.
Wait, isn't that the one? Oh yeah, because that was like the most popular one, the Ocarina of Time.
I think that actually kind of answers my own question when I think about it. Because I'm like, well, we still haven't seen that air quote sequel of Final Fantasy VII that like Square keeps teasing.
That was Avenge.
It's weird though, because like they had a tech demo.
It's
like, why would they do that? like why did they do that? Like, now that you knew it's out of the bottle and like forever, I would just like be thinking of that to myself. And
wait, was there supposed to be a sequel to Final Fantasy VII?
No, it was just a tech demo, but it was very cool.
A lot of people just wanted the remake because of the tech demo.
Oh.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's not happening. So let the dream die, guys.
But when it does RPG,
it's not going to. I'm sorry. It's at this point where it's just not going to happen. Because I mean, think about it. How many games have they like announced so far that have yet to come to, pass? So I mean, it's just with Square Enix, you just kind of have to take everything all their tech demos and trailers with a grain of salt, because you never know what you're going to get or when you're going to get it. Because life is like a box of chocolates and all that other stuff and junk. You're welcome.
I'm trying to think what the other question was, because I completely forgot about it while we were talking about the whole sequel thing.
So did I.
Oh, yeah. New entry in the franchise. That's what it was. Like, it wasn't just a straight-up sequel. Just like a new entry in the franchise, I think. I don't know. sequel entry in the franchise. I think that's what it was. So it's like not necessarily like if Metroid Prime 4 came out today, it's like it doesn't have to be Metroid Prime. It could just be Metroid Prime something something, not 4. So yeah, I think that's what it was. I completely forgot. So, but my answer is still the same. Of like, there's no length of time too great.
But wouldn't that could still be considered a sequel to Metroid Prime? To this Metroid Prime //.
Well, or like any other okay, let me think.
No, because it's like when Metal Gear Acid came out, that was totally different. That was cool.
I guess that's what I'm like thinking of, like games like outside of the like core genre for that franchise. So it's just like a spin-off or something.
Yeah.
Or I guess not like necessarily a spin-off, but like just something from that same universe that is like, oh, here, this still exists and we're working on stuff for it. So keep your hopes up if you're a fan.
So do you mean like the transition, like Fallout 2 to Fallout 3, like that?
No, just like no. Like I don't know what I'm talking about now. I kind of
Oh God.
I can't.
It's a confusing question.
Yeah, it is, and I think he's confusing himself.
I did confuse myself.
I think it's just the wrong words, but you have an idea.
No, because we just did the whole thing about like if a sequel came out and like I would totally get it if it was like even if it was 10 years later. So I'm trying to think of like what the other side of the question was that we were talking about, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because we totally just like did like one half of the question. But I guess we can just like call it there because we're at like 30 minutes. So
yeah,
we just do like the other half.
And I'm confused, so
yeah, we're all confused. So that works.
That's all your fault. All you're doing.
But there's only like 2 pieces of news that are major this week, which is the whole Nintendo not having any press conference at E3, and the whole Microsoft's going to announce their next console plans.
Although I'm not like, I don't feel like I mean, I kind of like the idea of them not having a conference at E3 because they've been doing these Nintendo Directs or whatever, and I think, and for me, I feel like if Sony and Microsoft did something similar, we could just kind of get rid of E3 altogether for their conferences and just let the publishers and developers do their stuff, and then that way we'd still get like whatever their first party crap is doing, but then it'd be like a bigger showing for the publishers and stuff, so they can get their balls and crap into the ring or whatever's going on there.
Yeah, see, to me, I agree because it makes sense since they're having the Nintendo Direct stuff and like they're already getting that like audience with their fans anyway. They don't really need to like spend all this money at E3 to like do that. However, at this E3 like specifically, it's kind of a what's that word? Exception because you have Sony showing new hardware, you have Microsoft showing new hardware. So it's basically
but they did it before E3.
No, well, they are, but it's like there's still stuff that they can talk about and unveil. So it's like those 2 things are going to like overshadow whatever Nintendo talks about so much that it's kind of like
you don't
of all the times to do this, that it would probably be like not the best time to do that. Except for the fact that I don't think that Nintendo has like a lot to announce. So it's like maybe they're playing to their strength of we already showed our hand of like new Link to the Past, new Zelda game, like all the stuff from the other Nintendo Directs like Fire Emblem, what was it? Shin Megami, whatever, that one.
Oh yeah, they had their crossover thing. I forgot all about
game.
that. Yeah.
Like all that stuff. So it's like they got that out of the way. Like people are still pumped, or like Nintendo fans anyway, because I'm one of them. So it's like they're like,
yes, he's
they're,
a
like, they're already excited. Shut up, RPG.
Told us.
It's like we're already excited. So it's like okay, they kind of already like gave their spiel and like okay, we're all like oh yeah, awesome. So it's like we're already excited. So now it's like on top of like whatever they showed at E3, we're already like oh yeah, I'm happy and I have stuff to look forward to. Whereas like I guess you look at like what Microsoft and Sony are doing. It's like they have like 2 conferences where it's like they show the hardware and then they have something at E3. It's like well that can go either way. It can like, either go up or go down. Where it's like oh well that was really awesome, but then at E3 it wasn't really as awesome as like their pre-conference thing. So we'll see. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad move by Nintendo, so I agree with RPG.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't, which is alright. Although, I don't know. Yeah, just keep up with the
But-
Nintendo Directs,
but, like-
and they'll be alright.
But like Tropical always says, like when he's here, since he's not here, is like how E3 is like the Super Bowl for like the gaming industry, how like all like the press and media eyeballs will be on it, and how I guess even though they don't have like a conference, they still have like that whole thing with like the press that they're gonna have. So it's like it's not
Yeah,
like
they
they will
still-
be completely overshadowed. So
They still have a meeting with like investors and all that. So, I mean, but the thing is, like, mainstream.
gamer, what were you saying? RPG.
I guess it was still,
What?
the news will still get out there. But
Oh, there's like
there
a
won't be live
delay
stream.
when
I
gamer
don't know,
was
just
talking.
watching something live is much
There's
exciting.
sticky stuff.
Is there?
No.
Yeah, there's like a delay before you talked, and then like there's a bunch of like stuff, and then like it was like not in sync.
God damn it!
Are you sure you didn't just like...
Mobile
Oh my.
and Comcast are rallying against me. Hello?
But what were you saying, gamer? Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, guy.
I guess the news will still get out there, but it was so exciting watching it live as it unravels, you know? Now I have to, like, rely on press to give me the news.
And
Or
they are
the-
awful.
I think it's the same thing what happened, you know. I mean, Konami had a terrible press conference. And now everything's pre-recorded, so nothing will ever be bad. You know what I mean? It's tailored.
Yeah.
It's
So
directed.
so you want the spectacle games? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. But I guess the spectacle can still be there in a pre-recorded video, right?
Yeah, I guess, but it wouldn't be the same.
To me, it made me think of that one year when E3 was at like that hangar, and like they kind of like rolled back their presence and stuff. But to what Gamer was saying, like their message will still get out just because like, you know, the way the internet works is like, oh, I'll just go to their YouTube page or their Facebook and like or like the chain of information will like just trickle down through all the sources and filters, and I'll be like, oh, well, that happened, or it'll always be like it is like when I just go to like some other website I will not name, and it's like, oh, well, that happened, and just get all this info. So,
Yeah.
Oh, also, oh wait, I already talked about GTA 5, but I think it's coming like September 17th, right?
Yep, same
Maybe.
day as Killzone Mercenary. Oh my god, that's terrible. Terrible date. Yeah, I can't wait, man. That footage looks awesome. Like, hopefully the shooting mechanics will be ripped out from Max Payne, so that would be nice.
Okay, do you mean like shooting as in shooting, or shooting as in like that?
The
that adds
gunplay.
in- Oh, okay.
Because the gunplay in GTA 4, it's doable, but it's kind of crappy.
I would think they would keep a cover-based system.
Yeah, they would keep the system, but like the act of shooting someone is just, so terrible.
It's probably more like Red Dead than Max Payne.
No, I hope not. But it's, you know, what's nice about GTA. I know maybe people won't like it, but it's like how varied, how different the three characters are compared to each other.
Yeah, like that.
It's pretty
That
much
was
like
something I brought up in the pre-show.
it's pretty much like playing like the episodes from Grand Theft Auto 4. It's like you're playing each different character, and they're totally different, but they all mingle together at separate points in the game. So hopefully it's gonna be like more like that again. That would be great.
It would be cool if like they did something like Resident Evil 6, where it had like the whole like 6 people in a game or something.
But you
where,
just
like, all
don't
the
know.
games are yeah, they're like all the games are like overlapping at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That'd be pretty cool. Or if they, I just hope they have like some crazy co-op mode that's like completely different from like the stuff that we've seen this gen. 'Cause that'd be like really fun to play. Where it's like if there's like a bank job scenario, and like one side's like the cops, one side's the robbers, and like all this other crazy stuff happens. But I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Oh, well, there's gonna be a ton of news Thursday.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, because a lot of previews are gonna go up then. So hopefully it's gonna be good news.
Mm.
Okay, so does anybody else have anything to add before we sign off?
No.
I guess we'll sign off then until next week. Gamer RPG.
I'm not sure what you want.
What would you? Well, I can't, it's hard for me. Like every time I want to say that, like this part at the end, I always want to say, "Do you have any last words?" But every time, like you always say, "Oh, Tekken, that sounds so aggressive, like you're gonna kill me or something." So it's like I haven't like thought of a way to rephrase that to where it doesn't sound like I'm doing something to you after we're done recording.
Well, this is awkward.
Or do you have any final words for? Or yeah, I already messed up too. What is your final piece for this episode? There, that works. Your final piece for this episode.
I don't have any that I can think of and stuff.
Gamer.
Yeah, still no Ouya yet.
Really?
Waiting patiently.
Did Tropical get his?
I haven't asked.
Oh.
We still have no Ouya coverage. Darn.
Like, supposedly they shipped out 30% of the Kickstarter units, so I'm probably going to be the last 90%, so. But, man, once I get that, I'm going to be ready.
Is your body ready?
I'm going to be like making games that I want to play, because all the games coming out are going to be slowing down, so.
Alrighty, and this is Tekken, so you know, F the haters, and you can fight like a Kroger and run like a Shepherd, but you'll never be better than Commander Shepard, so yeah. Oh, and just like Optimus Prime, I may be black on the outside, but I'm out and Autobot on the inside. And until next week, we're going to transform and roll out until you see or hear from us again. So, Wii U, Rapid Tap, and PSP, it burns so good.